Hello everybody, Glass from Glass Half Dead here, and today I want to talk about Warcry, because they've just announced a new Warcry warband, and it's the Chaos Legionnaires. Unlike the Kill Team version Legionary, these are actually Legionnaires. I think they look super cool. They're probably the best of the three. Alright, yeah, so that's the other thing. There's now 3 warbands releasing, which is... I don't think GW has done this before. So they're dropping Warcry Heart of Gur, which has the Rotmire Creed and the Horns of Shut in it. And then alongside it, we now know they're dropping, I believe, at the same time, same pre-order window, the Chaos Legionnaires, who are the personal enforcers, the army of Belakor, which I quite like. I think that's cool. I think Bellacor's an awesome model. I would love to paint him up again, because I've already painted him up once. Or wait, hold on. It makes more sense for me to paint these guys in the style I've already painted him. Never mind. Ignore that. Anyway, let's go into this a little bit because I've got some weird things to say. As I go through this, just going to look at the models, basically. And then at the end, I'm going to take a quick look at the 3 different leaders and how their stats compare and if we can really extrapolate anything from that. However, 3 teams, 2 in the Heart of Gur box set, 1 the same time alongside, and you'll see there I put GW is self-aware of bad models. So this might be a bit of a stretch. Obviously this is super personal opinion, I realise, but okay, the Rotmire Creed are a very specific thing. They're this odd mixture of, I would say Japanese rice farmer alongside presumably other things, but primarily that. Which is something that weirdly the Lumineth kind of already took, but whatever. And like there are things, some people like that. Cool. Horns of Shut. I'll talk about them in a moment. I don't like them at all, and I think I figured out why. So we'll talk about them soon. But then we have the Chaos Legionnaires. And I think, from what I can tell, the Chaos Legionnaires, nobody has said they don't like them yet. Like, they're just pretty cool models. Okay, I would say that arguably they are a little bit more generic chaos, right? I mean, in Warcry, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to show chaos in all of its different forms. And these guys are a little bit more, they're generic. I could see them being in place of generic Chaos Warriors in Sigmar. So we've got these guys here. Here we have the leader. And we've got, obviously, some guy with a big mace and some guy with a spear. Pretty classic stuff. And then we've got a small dude with a shield. A spiked shield. That might tell us some things. Then we've got 2 more small guys with spiked shields. And we've got 2 dudes with big axes. That seems pretty standard. I'm into it. I wonder if this means that we are just going to be, for the Chaos Legionnaires, an 8-man warband. Don't know. But then, obviously, the Chaos Legionnaires, as you undoubtedly saw, because why wouldn't I use that picture on the thumbnail, the Centurion Marshal. But he's not called a Centurion. Sorry, I've misspelt that. It's a Centaur Ian Marshal. I should have written that correctly. He's an ally. Now, I'm going to be honest, and you're going to find out that this is true for everything I say about Warcry at the moment, before I relearn the game. I got into Warcry when it first released, 3.5, 4 years ago, whatever it was now, and I played quite heavily the first, 3 months, really enjoyed the game, but then I just stopped and I moved on. And I don't know anything that's happened since. So I know that allies exist. I don't know how they work. I assume an ally cannot be used in I'm going to use the phrase competitive game. And I'm sure that all people there that enjoyed Warcry over the last 4 years have said there's no such thing as a competitive Warcry game. So fine. Presumably you have some games where you use allies, so you agree beforehand, are we using allies, are we not? Anyway, the Centurion Marshal is the Chaos Legionnaires ally. Super cool model, cool. I'd happily run that bad boy. Now with the Chaos Legionnaires, that's kind of it, let's not dwell too long, right? Let's talk about the Horns of Hadam. Do you see what I did there? Yeah, I'm a genius, I realise. I just want to... So, I didn't like them when I first saw them. The farmers, fine. What's the power fantasy of a farmer? Who knows, right? Fine. But even the armoured dudes didn't really excite me. Except I did decide that actually, I reckon if you did a head swap, they'd be fine. And I figured out why. Because if we see on screen right now, this is how the helmets of the Horns of Hashut look. Okay? Cool. Now, what is wrong here? If you're thinking, keep it 40k, keep it Warhammer, keep it Age of Sigmar, you're in that level of dumb, okay? You're in that level of over the top, okay? We're not thinking real world. And you say, I want to make these guys look like they are, connected with a bull in some way. That's the deity they worship. It's a bull. How do I do that? Bull horns. Okay. Yeah, bull horns. Cool. I'm into that. Yeah. So what do you do? Okay, well, they are warriors, so they have, head protection. Great. And they're into the bull. So we put bull horns on. Okay. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Except they went a step beyond. Okay, so look at, the guy is wearing a standard looking helmet, right? All of the bull horns sticking out, I'm totally down with that. I'm okay with spiky armor, obviously. I mean, it's great. And then he's just got a normal helmet that looks cool, to be clear. Cool looking normal helmet. But then, instead of just putting horns attached to his otherwise normal helmet, or just making, instead of a normal helmet, just having a bull face, that would be fine too. They've put a normal helmet, and then they've put an entire bull head on top. And that's insane. They've given him two heads, and so he looks doubly dumb. Horns of Hadam. I'm not taking that back. I think that what I would do if I get these is I will actually just cut off the bull head on top. And then I think they look totally fine. Yep. So then we go on to the three leaders compared, but you might notice that there are actually 4 cards on here. One of which is just a random card I found online, which is just another data card. War Scroll? I don't know what they're called. Just so we can kind of remember, for those of you that don't know perhaps, what, are these stats in line? Are they undercosted? Are they overcosted? Are they, trying to push power creep and now everyone that wants to play the game has to buy the new stuff? Otherwise, you're going to be just fundamentally worse. Who knows? So, there is another slight issue, and I mentioned this when I was discussing the allies, which is that I've actually forgotten how the game works. So I've shown them on screen, and if I knew how the game worked, I would now kind of, Warcry isn't something that I feel you need to do a deep dive in the rules of, right? What's the most competitive? Who cares? It's Warcry. You should be playing the armor you think looks cool, and whatever they do, just hope that GW has written the rules correctly that you can do the cool things, right? That's how balance should work in the game. However, so here's the thing. Here's what made me realize that I don't know the game anymore. So in the little stats wheel, I know that the skull symbol is wounds, and I know that the arrow is move. And then I was looking at the other thing, and I was like, oh, I don't know what that is. I think it's toughness, but I don't remember how toughness works at all. So, yeah. I don't know this game anymore. I'm going to have to crack open the rulebook and relearn the game so that I can make some content on Heart of Gur. That's on me. I'm obviously going to have to go back and watch some people's guides on how to play Warcry. So, yeah. Anyway, if we have a quick look, now I'm going to go back from memory, because there's no point in me looking at these cards. All of their stats look roughly in line. I will say that I happen to pick just a random card from the old edition, which does seem to be costed 10 points more than anything else there, but their stats are roughly the same, with the only difference being that they have 1 extra movement, but otherwise they're in line with everything else. So maybe actually, this new Warcry Heart of Gur stuff is stronger. However, from my memory, I do seem to recall that the core stats of the models was rarely the defining trait, unless they were absolutely insane. They were rarely what defined the warband. It's more about your abilities card and how that interacts with the different rune marks that you have. The rune marks are the weird little circles that have different rune markings in them, and they give you access to different abilities when you roll your ability dice. They're probably not called ability dice at the start of each turn, and then whether you get doubles or triples or quads allows you to use different things from that ability card. A super cool idea, very RNG obviously, but yeah. And so the way that interacts with your rune marks and the warband in general is kind of what defines the warband. The raw stats on the card are less important than you may think. There you go. Wow, this has been embarrassing. I would like to say, learn along with me, but actually, I'm going to go away after having tried to stumble through this poor explanation of how these data cards work, and I'm going to have to go and figure out how the game plays again, because I don't even know what the toughness stat does. That's awkward, but that's what happens when you don't play a game for 4 years. And all you can remember is, oh yeah, it's not a competitive game. Great, you still need to know the rules. Well done, Anne. Well done, Glass. Okay, and there you go. Guys, this has been Glass from Glass Half Dead. I hope you've enjoyed this little detour into Warcry. I certainly hope that I'm going to be covering a bit more Warcry. I personally am pretty excited for the re-release. Presumably the next video I do on this is going to be me coming back after having learned the rules again. And then probably some sort of editorial about, oh my gosh, an opinion piece, a fluff piece, if you will, on how am I going to keep up, or how are people in general going to keep up with there being a quarterly box for both Kill Team and Warcry now. It's like that's a lot of stuff, Yeah, that's something to think about for another time once I've had time to condense my thoughts and put it all together. Because right now, just off the top of my head, I'm just thinking, oh, well, just don't buy them all. Yeah, and the actual cross-section between Kill Team and Warcry, although will undoubtedly be pretty well represented by the number of viewers my Warcry content gets on my channel compared to my Kill Team content, I don't think you have to collect them all, but it is a strong FOMO vibe there, right? Like, do you have £150 to drop every... it's more than every other month, isn't it? It's every month and a half. Like, yeah. It's basically, you might as well direct debit £100 a month to GW. And then that's you getting Kill Team and Warcry big boxes every quarter. I will say, final word. Personally, what I'm looking forward to is Seraphon. I'd love a Seraphon warband. I think Seraphon are easily the best race from Age of Sigmar. I don't know why I don't have a Seraphon army. I'm an absolute mad lad. I need to get one. Yeah, that's something I really need to get on. The problem is they have such old, bad sculpts, like the Salamanders, the Croxagors. I'm going full third party on them. There are some great ones from the Lost Kingdom. All right, I'm rambling. Guys, thumbs up, Warcry, leave a comment to subscribe, a thumb. Yeah. All right. This has been Glass Half Dead. I hope you've had a good day. Continue to have a good day. Warcry. Bye.